This video is from my series that walks you through how to build a career in film and television production. This exercise will refine your pitch and will give you an opening 2 or 3 sentence, 2-paragraph email or direct message that you're going to use to send to the people you're trying to connect with. First things first, know the target you're talking to. You want to know who your target informational is. Look for common interests. If you found them from your hit list, use them. What do you want to be? You got to know what you want to be, and you got to know what vertical you want to work in. Those are the 3 things. Know the person, know what you want to be, and know what vertical you're in. The person you're going to be talking to needs to have experience in the vertical and have done shows in that vertical. If they haven't, they're the wrong person for you. And you will have, by the time you create your hit list, you will have distilled down the names of the people who are in your vertical so you know who to target. Next is your pitch. How will you connect with them? What will you say? How will you demonstrate interest and curiosity? And how will you get their attention? You're going to get their attention because you're curious, because you're interested. You're going to have to demonstrate that you're curious and interested by showing that you understand the industry and you understand their place in the industry. What will you say? Very simple. You're just going to lay out your name, what you do, and what you're looking for, and that you're out looking for a 20-minute informational interview. So the next slide is an email direct message. It's a blank template for you to fill in, for you to modify however you want. Don't copy it word for word. Honestly, I don't really care if you copy it. You're not stealing any copyright. I don't give a shit. The reason I say don't copy it is you want to be original. You want to use the format. The format is designed to impart information that will demonstrate that you understand the industry, that you're curious and interested to get to know the person you're about to talk to. But you want to be concise and clear, and you want to make it so that it's yours, so that you own it. If you're out there just copying what we're about to show you, you're going to look like every other person doing this program, which is fine, but understand you want to try to break through and you want to try to look original. Now remember, what people are doing often in connecting in LinkedIn and Facebook and all social and email as well, I get them all the time. I probably get 3 or 4 of them a week. And I'm a CFO, I'm a finance guy. My clients produce TV movies, episodic television, branded content, and small independent feature films. I get solicitations from writers, directors, not so much actors, but writers and directors and producers looking to try to find someone like me to package their movie and to finance it. It makes no sense. These people don't understand who I am, what I do, and what my position is in the industry. I do a very specific, very narrow thing. I got a connection on LinkedIn from a young woman who was just out of undergrad, and she had said in her email, listed her name, and she's a recent graduate from Northridge University in finance, and she wants to get connected and learn about production finance. And I would love to connect with you to be able to do that. That was a direct message and an invitation that had she not said what she said, I would have ignored it. I would have moved on to the next. But she made it relevant. She understood that I came up through a production accounting track. She said that she just graduated. She's new to the industry. And she said what she's looking for. Those 3 things are important. They're paramount. What it said to me was she was interested. She was curious. She did her research. And she showed up telling me what she wanted. I accepted the invite. And I pointed her in a direction. I'm not going to give her a job. I don't have any jobs for her. All the projects I work on are overseas, in Canada, or in the East Coast. The likelihood of that woman getting connected through me on a show in LA is really small. But at least she can connect to the people in my LinkedIn, and I can have a quick conversation with her so she can learn a little bit about the industry to help guide her, which is what I did. So you're doing the same thing. The only way you're going to stand out is by being clear, concise, short, but polite, and having an understanding of the industry that the person you're working with, or you're talking to, understand what they do and how they fit into the industry. Okay? All right. This is basically is your pitch, and this is your introduction to the people you're talking to. It's not later on down the road. If you're going to connect on Facebook, LinkedIn, especially on LinkedIn, because in LinkedIn you have an opportunity to modify the message when you're connecting to someone. But anyway, at Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, social, email, whatever, it's very simple. Hi, list your name. I am a, insert your current goal job. And the current goal job is going to be some kind of entry level, either at the level you're currently working at or leveling up to, or the entry level job you're coming into the industry, some kind of an assistant job. I'm going to use my example in just a second, and I'll show you how that lays out for something I was doing 20 plus years ago. Hi, name of the person you're talking to. I am a, insert job here, and new to the industry. I have admired, insert the show or shows that they worked on. I'm looking to learn more about your career path in Hollywood. I would like to get 20 minutes for an informational interview so I can better understand how you got to where you are in your career. Simple, concise. If you insert the show that they worked on, you demonstrate that you've done your research. If you tell them what it is you're doing, you're clear and concise, and they can make a decision about how they can help you, if they can help you at all. If you're not new to the industry and you're leveling up, what you can say here is, hi, name, I am a, insert show, and I'm working to expand my career in the industry, okay? If you're comfortable, level up is another phrase. I'm not sure it's all that widely known, but it is a phrase, and I hear it often, but not all that often. But be creative. The point is, you don't necessarily need to say you're new to the industry. In my case, I was going for a job at Disney with an accountant. I was a PA at the time on Dream On, and I wanted to go up through a track of finance to line producer to a production executive, and then ultimately on to working at a studio job. I was trying to get on as a second assistant accountant or as an assistant accountant. And this production accountant had worked at Disney on Home Improvement. And her name was Sandy. I said, hi, Sandy. I'm a PA on Dream On and looking to learn about production finance. I have admired Home Improvement and I'm looking to learn about your career path. I would like to get 20 minutes for an informational interview to better understand how you got to where you are in your career. That message, and at the time, this is 1992 or 3, email didn't really exist, and if it did, no one used it. It was all over the phone, or it was a letter with my credits attached to it that I mailed to the head of the department, or directly to Sandy. Who knows? It could have been anything. But the simple fact is, I got connected through her because an accountant I met on Dream On was making a connection or an introduction. The second assistant in Dream On knew I wanted to work in finance. There was no opportunity on that show for me, and no one knew whether or not the show was coming back next year. The season was about to end, and she said, hey, this woman, Sandy, who worked on Home Improvement, is looking for an assistant. You should go talk to her. So I did. I either left this voicemail or I wrote her a note or wrote a letter with my cover letter to the department with her name listed as the connection. It's a lot easier now, and it's really simple to do. I ultimately wound up getting the meeting. I did talk about her career path and how she got into doing what she was doing. And ultimately she wound up hiring me on the spot. I didn't realize at the time that she was interviewing me. I thought I was interviewing for an informational so I could better get a sense and try to connect for her. She was like, well, shit, you can do this. You've gone this far. You've done all this. She literally brought me down to the head of the department, introduced me, and they hired me on the spot. So write your pitch, write your opening DM or your email. That's how we're going to connect to these people on social. However, you've figured out how to connect to folks. If you have email addresses, use them. Don't abuse them, but use them and be very clear and very concise. Do not, under any circumstances, ask to read the script, ask to watch your short, ask to come to your reading, or ask for a job. That is not the purpose of this introduction. The purpose is to just do an informational and listen to what these people did and try to demonstrate in this conversation, in this exchange, that you're relevant, that you're informed, and that you're curious. That's all your job is. You don't have to tell them your life story. In fact, you don't want to tell them your life story. You want them to tell you your life story so that you can leave an impression with them that you listen, that you care, and that you're curious. Now, do your pitch, write it out, and email it to me. We'll review it, and we'll offer comments. You don't have to take them. You don't have to do what we say. It's just our experience, and maybe there's an interesting way of trying to refine exactly what it is you're saying without copying this statement word for word. So another thing we want to try to do in these pitch emails and these direct message contacts is we want to try to find some common interest. If you can, it's not critical. Look for university connections, look for state or region connections. Maybe you can figure out where someone grew up. Just make sure it's real. For example, if you hate cars, don't talk about how you love the person's Tesla, because you just might get a car nut. And if you're not conversational about cars, you'll be found out and you'll be labeled a fraud. That's the fastest way to lose credibility. But if you can find connections and you can find information about these people that you find interesting, that you can demonstrate your curiosity and the research you've done, by all means do it. There's no reason not to, and it may separate you from most of the people who are just saying, hey buddy, will you read my script? It's really great. We got 20% of the financing in, which that means that they have figured out where tax incentives exist that total 20%, which means they don't have a fucking dime. It just means they're going to go shoot somewhere where a tax incentive will pay them back 20%. Come read my screenplay. We have Johnny Depp, who's really interested, and I talked to his manager, and he says that if we can find the money, we'll be able to make it. If I had a nickel for every fucking one of those I got, I'd be a rich man.